But yeah, just having to teach them how to eat a sushi as well, because the first thing
With your mouth.
the first thing, okay, is this like, I thought it would be obvious, right? You have like one piece of sushi. A piece of sushi is like a bite.
Yes.
And I saw like the first thing some of her family members did was like bite half of it.
They're probably just precarious. They're probably just a bit scared of it.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
probably like,
yeah.
oh, it's a piece of raw meat. Maybe it's a type of fish I've never had. So let me just take a test bite. I don't want to eat the whole thing in case it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
You know, so I get it.
Yeah, I mean,
Or maybe they have small mouths. I don't know.
no, because it was interesting just to see how their approach to like even like the smallest things, and just seeing all of the different types of fish as well. Because you go to sushi and they had sushi before, but it was basically only tuna and salmon.
Yeah.
Well, thank God they have those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salmon is like the gateway. It's like, just try the salmon first. And you're like, whoa, this is really different.
Yeah.
It's like if you're stuck on the tuna and salmon, you just might as well not go into that rabbit hole, you know?
Exactly. And then just seeing them have the salmon roe for the first time, and
You made them eat salmon roe the first time?
Yeah. I mean, I got the sushi platter.
Oh,
so
okay.
With all sorts of them.
I bet they didn't like that.
Mixed
Okay.
opinions, But it's weird because like you see salmon roe and like some Westerners are like, no, fish eggs, no. But then you see caviar as like this, you know, sought after kind of like very expensive fish eggs as well. And I'm like, is it a mental thing?
I think it's the size of them, and I don't know. For me, the first time I remember, it was how red they were. It's kind of weird. Like for some reason, because caviar's black, I never thought about it much. I never put much.
I think it's also because like salmon roe is also like slightly like translucent as well, so you can see the inside like red part too. So it really looks like some frog eggs, or you know, like some eggs, like actual eggs.
It's unusual to have spherical stuff like that in small. Like, think about Western food. What is the closest comparison to salmon roe that we often eat? Like there is none. Like we don't have
other than regular eggs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But my point is, if you gave someone caviar in the UK, but you spread it on a piece of toast, they'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
they'd be like, "What the fuck is this?"
True.
Like, because they're like, "This is I don't associate this shape in this quantity as food." I know it sounds weird, but I think that's genuinely like a part of it.
Yeah,
it could be.
I'm thinking about it, and like spherical things. The closest thing I could think of was like tapioca, and that didn't get like
that's not really that popular as well, though.
Yeah, that didn't get popular until like the past few years with like bubble tea and stuff like that.
I do think when you're trying to get people to try new foods and being open with it, having the food resemble other foods that they eat is a lot easier to get them to do. It's like the fish, right? I think the biggest obstacle is that this looks like nothing that I eat. Ever, right? If you gave me a meat substitute, like any kind of wild animal, people don't bat an eye because they're like, it just looks like a beef or it looks like chicken, right? So you're like, oh, I know what this is going to taste like. Then you try it and you're like, oh, it's a bit weird.
It's a bit different.
And I think it's the fact that it looks different. You can clearly see the texture's different. You're kind of expecting the worst.
Right.
I mean, I have a confession. The first time I came to Japan, I had the sushi and I think I just wanted to like it so badly that I pretended I liked it more than I actually did because I really wanted to.
Okay.
But I think at that point, I'd been super British my entire life and I'd never had anything even, like I'd barely ever eat like just salmon.
Yeah.
Like raw. It was always grilled.
Yeah.
Or steamed, right? Like I never had even raw salmon. So even the raw salmon was like a step for me where I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it wasn't only until after I lived here and actually forced myself to kind of, eat it a little bit every now and then eventually you get like a weird craving for it. And then then you kind of realize, oh, I think I like this a lot now.
Yeah. Sydney often tells me, and I don't know if this is true at all, but Sydney often tells me that your taste buds change every few years or something like that.
I think so.
I believe that.
And
I
like,
don't know if it's like that exact time, but they definitely evolve.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
100%
and I'm
evolve.
like, what are your sources, Sydney? And she's never given me the sources.
My tongue.
But like, I can say from personal experience, especially with sushi, I grew up thinking sushi was like disgusting.
Right.
Like there
me
was
too.
like something about every time someone was eating sushi, something about the fishy smell of sushi and like the smell of like the soy sauce specifically, because
the smell of it.
true sushi soy sauce has like that little bit like that fishy kind of like sea smell.
Yeah, it uses like fish oil.
Yeah, like fish oil.
The smell
and that smell always put me off. And I remember growing up, I was like, I hate sushi. Don't like it. It's gonna make me throw up. And then I remember like when I was about 23 or something, I remember the exact moment because I was on a date with Sydney. And this was like the first few months that we were dating, and she'd ordered sushi, and I'd never even thought sushi came close to appetizing. In fact, it was like sickening for me. She ordered sushi. It was like basic ass, like cheap salmon sushi somewhere in London. Not even like gourmet sushi. It was just like cheap salmon sushi. And I remember just
London,
Yo Sushi,
probably Yo Sushi.
Yeah.
It was a Japanese restaurant,
right?
And I remember the sushi plate coming out, and something in my mind just like clicked, and something in my mind just went, that doesn't look so bad, actually.
That happens a lot. I find myself wanting to try foods that I think I remember I didn't like. Again, even if I dislike them again, but I want to try.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I remember telling Sydney like before we started dating, I was like, yeah, I hate sushi. Just like don't. If we're gonna go on a date somewhere, go somewhere where I can order something other than sushi. If you're gonna order sushi, I remember she ordered that plate. I looked at it for a second, and I was like, can I have a bite? Can I try that?
Yeah.
And she was like really surprised, and I tried it, and my brain was just like, oh, you like this now? This is actually slapping. You need to get more of this. And I went from like hating sushi to now sushi is like one of my favorite Japanese dishes. Like sushi is the one dish where I have not got bored of after moving to Japan.
Yeah,
so for sure.
I love fish now a lot.
Yeah, right.
Like even when I go to like America or the UK, if there's like grilled fish on the menu, I'm like, dude, yes. I'll take that over a steak now.
Another fish I used to hate, mackerel as well.
I fucking love mackerel.
Mackerel's great.
Mackerel's fucking great, but I remember it had such a strong fishy taste when I was a kid.
For sure.
And my mum would cook it every now and again. I'd be like, okay, this is the shit food day. Okay, thanks, mum. Thanks. Did you have to cook mackerel? Okay. I then had it in Japan. I'm like, I fucking love I love mackerel now, mum.
Yeah.
When I was on the chicken and broccoli diet, I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Because chicken and broccoli was that was my dinner. But for lunch a lot of the time, I used to just go to like Aldi. And I would just buy those canned mackerel.
Oh, yeah.
It was like in tomato.
Yeah.
Because there was like 100 calories and it's like a ton of protein. And I would just eat canned mackerel like every day. Because you could heat it up in a pan as well. It was so good. I love mackerel. I've always loved it. And sardines too, even though they're a little bony.
Sardines are okay for me.
I like sardines, but man, it's like they've been designed to spite humans for farming them because the little crunchiness and sometimes so many bones.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Have you ever had your taste buds change? Because you seem to be someone who likes everything, Joey.
True, like I didn't used to like concrete, and now I'm a big fan.
I just started chewing on my mattress one day, and I was like, "Oh, it's actually kind of good." No, it's when I was like up until maybe around like middle school, high school, I despise what?
You know that scene in Old Boy where he eats the octopus?
Yeah.
I just had this vision of Joey watching it being like, fuck, I wish that was me.
God damn it.
He eats the live octopus. Like, Joey's like, damn.
I do actually like that.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Live octopus?
Yeah, I've had it before in Japan.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, have I never told you?
What the fuck?
When I went to Okayama for a sponsored video, this was fucking like 5-6 years ago.
What's wrong with you, dog?
We went to this restaurant where the guy like he brought out a live octopus and he fucking decapitates and cuts the legs in like a matter of like 15-20 seconds to the point where the tentacles,
right away, right? They hand it to
the
you.
Tentacles are still wriggling around and they give it to you and they're like, eat it. Okay. And you have to chew it like a lot because if you don't chew it enough, then the suction cups can get stuck in your throat.
Bro, this boy's eating this.
And I ate it. I'm like, this is the freshest fucking like octopus sashimi I've had in my life. Probably because it was alive 20 seconds ago.
Life, that's the best spice, you know?
Yeah. I love it when I swallow and the life just drains out of whatever I just ate. No, but like when I was in middle school, high school, like I basically couldn't eat most vegetables. Like legit, like growing up, the only vegetables I actually enjoyed eating was cucumber and lettuce.
You mean the closest thing to water?
Yeah, basically. Any vegetable that
those
had...
are both like 95 or something percent water.
Any vegetable that had any like vegetable flavor, basically.
Joey wanted solidified water.
Yeah, I couldn't eat it. Like I hated carrots, onions, like tomatoes, like peppers.
I still think carrots are like C-tier vegetables.
I mean, they're not like the best, but you know, I can eat them now. But like before, I used to like, I couldn't even eat them. I was like, I fucking hate all of these. And then just one day, for some reason, I was out with some friends and there was like a small little like salad, I think, with like whatever I was eating. And it had like, you know, like carrots and, you know, everything that was, you know, with lettuce and cucumber. And I was like...
That's how we get them, boys.
Yeah. And then, yeah, it was kind of the same thing with you with the sushi. I just looked at it, I'm like, that kind of looks good. And I don't know why. Yeah. And I ate it and I was like, oh, I actually kind of like this now. Like salad tastes good. What the fuck? Vegetables taste good. And now, like, yeah, I can pretty much eat all vegetables now.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. And I don't remember what happened or like what conditioned me to like suddenly be like that. But just one day, yeah, like it just clicked in my head. I'm like, you can eat this now. It's like, okay.
You're free.
Yeah, you're free. You can eat this now.
You have unlocked a new part of your brain. You've ascended a new level. You may now enjoy vegetables.
You unlock the skill tree of vegetables. You're good now.
I'm interested to hear what sushi they didn't like. What was the consensus?
Yeah. What was like the...
Okay.
How far did you go down the sushi?
I didn't go that far because I kind of just...
so you didn't go down like the sperm sack, right?
I wouldn't do that.
I saw the shirako and I was just like, they are looking at cuttlefish like it's an alien thing right now. So I'm just like, which was something they unfortunately did not like. Cuttlefish.
Which one's that one? What's that in Japanese?
Cuttlefish is like the small squid looking.
Yeah, it's like the white one.
Yeah.
It's
like the whole squid is on top of it.
Yeah. Oh,
that's cuttlefish.
I thought it was squid.
It's a small,
it's like a type of squid.
It's kind of like type of it. Yeah, type of squid. Yeah,
that one. Even I'm not a big fan of that one.
I think it's called. Yeah,
even I'm not a big fan of that one. It's normally just really chewy.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, I just get through this one.
Yeah,
it tastes like nothing.
Yeah, I happily introduced them to fatty tuna though, which
that's like a good one.
That's like chutoro and otoro. Like if you want to introduce your family or someone foreign to something that you could, it's really hard to get outside of Japan unless you pay up the ass.
And they like that, all of them?
They fucking love that. Of course. It's got fats, man. Of course, man.
Of course.
Yeah. Because like chutoro and otoro is kind of like just normal tuna, but just like A5 Wagyu.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the A5 Wagyu of tuna.
Yeah.
Which is good. But surprisingly, they actually enjoyed most of it. I think the salmon roe was the only thing that they really were just like, it was...
Did they try uni?
No.
Okay, yeah, no. That's the one where I understand that it's loved by a lot of people, but I don't like uni.
That's the Dark Souls boss of sushi, right? It's
the Marmite.
The Marmite of sushi. You either like it or you don't. I think there's just something in it that just doesn't like.
What don't you like about it?
It's like a gas in my mouth. It's like I've like, it's like a bomb is going off of.
Really?
It's so intense and strong
because it's like salty.
No, it's not even that. It's like there's this weird taste to it that just isn't. I don't know. It's not nice.
I've heard from people. I've heard people who don't like uni say that they don't like it because it's like they just took a mouthful of seawater.
Maybe that it tastes like soapy to me when I eat it. It's like very chemically. Like I don't know how to place it. I because you always get it in the set.
Yeah,
and I always eat it because I don't want to disrespect the dude.
Yeah,
and I just kind of like it's more of a
you just fight through it. Right, right,
great.
Right.
I do the Matt Stoney technique. I'm like, oh, delicious, great, really good.
Yeah, it's really weird because I remember when I first moved to Japan. First time I tried uni, wasn't a fan either. It was something was off about the taste, and then I just had this one great experience in Hokkaido. Of
course.
That's
where the third eye of food gets open.
And then I had this one uni in Hokkaido, and then like we just talked about, something in my brain just like clicked and switched, and it just unlocked this new skill, like uni skill tree in my brain. And then after that one experience, I fucking love uni.
Yeah,
and I don't know what it is. It was just having that perfect balance between something it was like a little bit sweet, but just like the right kind of sweet, but also
it's like a creamy, salty type of fish.
Creamy, salty, and sweet, all in like one little package.
So did you take them to like a sushi chain or like some fancy place?
Oh no, honestly, because
like Sushi Ro's pretty decent.
Kappa Sushi.
Like, I'd say Sushi Ro's solid, bro. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, we went to, so first place Sydney wanted to take them was Asakusa. You know, kind of like, you know, do the rounds in Asakusa. And we just went to, it was unsurprisingly very busy. So we went to a sushi restaurant that seemed to be a local place there. Didn't have an English menu. So that's why it was less full than some of the other sushi places.
For sure, yeah.
So it was kind of like it wasn't a chain. It was just like a locally run sushi place. And yeah, they very much enjoyed the sushi experience, which was good.
Hell yeah.
Got the good first pass.
Nice.
Took them around Asakusa, which was taking people around Asakusa.
I've never heard anyone pronounce it that way.
Asakusa?
Yeah.
Asakusa.
That's
my shitty pronunciation.
It's confusing because there's Asakusa and then there's Akasaka.
Yeah, Akasaka, that's right.
As well. Yeah.
Showed them the temple and everything like that, and I think they got a bit shocked where not shocked, but it's they saw like the trust system in full effect, where you know, like when you get like the
the omikuji.
Yeah. And there's no one looking, but you have to like pay 100 yen just to get your fortunes done and stuff like that. There's no one looking at all. You could just get your fortunes.
You could just take one.
You could just take one, and you know, no one's looking, and that's when I had to explain to them about Japan's trust system, where you are
Americans just sweating.
I think there are some places in Europe and America that I have it, like in rural areas.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They have like farms have, you know, you can just.
But Japan is one of the few places I feel where they also do it in urban areas.
Yeah, you can get it.
Like more commonly than other places, I feel.
For sure.
Yeah.